From a star in the making to a coach who has no idea what she's doing, here's how Christie Sides coaching is ruining Caitlin Clark's career. Caitlin Clark is known for her exceptional scoring abilities, having made a name for herself as one of the most prolific scorers in college basketball history. However, under the coaching of Christie Sides, her natural talents are being restricted by rigid offensive strategies that fail to utilize her full potential. Sides' coaching approach emphasizes a structured and methodical offense, which often requires players to stick to set plays and predetermined movements. While this can be effective in certain situations, it significantly limits Clark's ability to improvise and really create scoring opportunities. For a player like Clark, whose game thrives on spontaneity and quick decision-making, this system is particularly restrictive. One of the critical aspects of Clark's game is her ability to shoot from long range, drive to the basket, and create shots off the dribble. However, Sides' system appears to discourage taking risks and prioritizes passing the ball to find the perfect shot. This was glaringly evident in the recent game against the Chicago Sky on June 23rd. In this game, Clark's hesitation was very easy to see as she frequently passed up open shots, seemingly following instructions to distribute the ball more, rather than capitalize on her scoring opportunities like she would normally do. The impact of these restrictions is visible in Clark's performance statistics. Comparing her current stats under Sides with her previous performances under college coach Lisa Bluder highlights a significant drop in her scoring averages. For instance, during her time at the University of Iowa, Clark averaged an impressive 27 points per game, showcasing her ability to dominate offensively. But now, with her current season with the Fever, her average has dropped to 16.5 points per game. This decline is not just a matter of transitioning from college to professional basketball, but a direct consequence of being confined to a system that does not play to her strengths. Clark's effectiveness on the court is also being hampered by the type of plays Sides is calling. Instead of running isolations or high pick and rolls, which are better for Clark's style of play, Sides often resorts to more conservative and predictable plays. These plays involve multiple passes and a focus on finding a shot close to the basket, reducing Clark's chances to utilize her shooting range and creativity. Not just that though, the psychological impact of a restrictive system cannot be underestimated. Clark is known for her confidence and aggressive play, but recently has appeared more hesitant and uncertain. This shift in her demeanor is detrimental not only to her performance, but also to her development as a player. Confidence is a crucial point of an athlete's success, and Sides' approach is seemingly slowing Clark down a lot, and this won't help win championships. The loss against the Sky highlighted these issues very clearly. In that game, Clark's role was essentially reduced to that of a facilitator rather than a scorer. She recorded more assists than field goal attempts, a statistic that underscores the misalignment between her natural playing style and the current coaching direction. Fans and analysts were quick to point out how this strategy is wasting Clark's potential and failing to capitalize on what could be a game-changing talent for the Fever. Now, if we look at Clark's performances in her college days under Coach Bluder as an example, it's clear that a more flexible and player-centric approach allowed her to flourish. Bluder's system was tailored to maximize Clark's strengths, giving her the freedom to take over games, which often led to high-scoring performances and memorable moments. To truly understand the detrimental impact of Sides' coaching, we need to consider the broader implications for the team as well. By not utilizing Clark's scoring abilities, the Fever are missing out on opportunities to secure victories. Basketball is a game where star players often need to step up and take control, especially in critical moments. Just like when Angel did, she took control and it led to the one-point victory. Sides' reluctance to empower Clark in this role is a strategic misstep that is costing the team wins and undermining their potential success. Sides employs a defensive approach that requires intense man-to-man coverage and frequent switching. While this can be effective in theory, it often leaves Clark vulnerable to picking up fouls, especially when matched up against more agile or physically imposing opponents, which is happening more lately. Clark is known for her offensive skill. She's not as defensively dominant. This means she's being forced into a high-risk defensive role, which significantly increases her chances of fouling, which subsequently impacts her playing time and overall effectiveness to score. During the game against the Sky, Clark was tasked with guarding players who were not only faster, but also more experienced in exploiting mismatches. This led to Clark giving more turnovers than what we would typically see. The defensive mismanagement doesn't end there. By focusing too much on aggressive man-to-man defense, Sides often neglects the importance of team defense and zone coverage, which can better protect individual players like Clark. Effective team defense requires coordination and communication, areas where the Fever have struggled under Sides' leadership. This lack of defensive cohesion makes it easier for opponents to target Clark and force her into difficult defensive positions. The Fever's reliance on Clark as a primary scorer means that her absence creates a significant scoring void. As much as one player can make the difference in a game, the rest of the team need to stand up to ensure that it's not just Caitlin doing all the work. Fan reactions on social media have highlighted these defensive flaws, with many calling for a change in strategy, or really a change in coaching. Analysts have also pointed out that while defensive aggression is crucial, it should not come at the cost of losing your best offensive player to being locked up. Another thing to notice is the tension between Clark and Sides, which is becoming increasingly clear, and that this strained relationship is affecting both Clark's performance and the overall team dynamics. Reports from inside sources have indicated that the friction between Clark and Sides is leading to a disconnect that's harmful to both players and team morale. Several instances highlight the visible disagreements between Clark and Sides during games. In multiple situations, Clark has been seen visibly frustrated, shaking her head or gesturing in disagreement with Sides' coaching decisions. These moments are not just minor disagreements but reflect deeper issues in their working relationship. For example, during a crucial timeout in the game against the Sky, cameras caught an intense exchange between Clark and Sides. Clark appeared to be saying they should be running a different play, but for it to only be overruled by Sides. This strain is not just a matter of personality clashes either though, as it has significant implications for the team's performance and their potential to be a top contender against the top teams for a championship. Another major issue under Christie Sides' coaching is the inconsistency in game plans, which has led to numerous unnecessary losses for the Indiana Fever. This inconsistency is evident in the poor adjustments made during games and the questionable decisions that have left fans and analysts baffled. Sides' inability to adapt to opponents' strategies has been a recurring problem. For example, during the game against the Sky on June 23rd, it was clear that the Sky had adjusted their defense to specifically target Clark, effectively neutralizing her offensive impact. Instead of making counter adjustments to free Clark up or utilize her in different ways, Sides stuck to a rigid game plan that played right into the Sky's hands. This lack of adaptability is a significant coaching flaw that directly affects the team's performance, and it showed on the scoreboard as the Sky managed to keep Caitlin to a 17-point game. One of the critical aspects of effective game management is knowing when to call timeouts and what instructions to give during these breaks. Sides' judgment in this area has been questionable at best. There have been multiple instances where timeouts were either called too late to be effective or not at all, leaving the players to fend for themselves during crucial moments. The instructions given during these timeouts often lack clarity and do not address the immediate needs of the game. This was evident in the game against the Sky, where late in the fourth quarter, the Fever needed a strategic play to regain control, but the timeout resulted in a disjointed and ineffective play that led to their loss. The Fever have to change a lot if they really want to win championships. Sides may think she has an idea of what she's doing, but the scoreboard and plays we see as fans say otherwise. Let me know what you think in the comments.